and shit like that. And I fucking snapped. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like, I am not a nerd. You know what I'm saying? I looked at her very seriously and everything. She's like, oh my god, I'm just joking. I mean, yeah. So it turns out that I do got a lot of young people in my audience who are still going to school, whether it's middle school, whether it's high school, whether it's college and stuff like that. And I know that lately because of the economic situation and the pandemic and all the effects of that, it's a lot of stress and stuff like that going on. Uh, and I think it's a good time to start talking about life. You know what I'm saying, and things like that, more relatable topics. And I can relate. Some of the young artists audiences that I have contact with, and let me tell you guys, man, when it comes to schooling, fitting in, I had a hard time with that in a way because I didn't really see myself as being able to fit in with the typical like cliques that were like the goths or the jocks, the nerds, all that. I honestly couldn't really find a clique, but if I had to choose, I guess it would be I would like mingle with the nerds and stuff like that. People that was all into anime and all the imaginative, creative kind of stuff. I was really always hanging out with those people, but even then, I kind of always separated myself in some kind of way. Like I'd probably sit at the end of the table, the nerd table or something like that. That's kind of how I was. And then sometimes if they were talking about it, then I would move closer and engage and things like that, engage and re-engage and disengage. You know what I'm saying, and things, but mostly people saw me as like, yeah, the weird dude, to be honest with you. The weird little dude walking around that says weird stuff, that talks about things, that reads books about aliens and all that kind of stuff. That's how I was. You know what I'm saying? And, I was somewhat shameful about it. You know what I'm saying? Because people would mention it, but I never let it affect me to the point to where I stopped doing it. I just say people feel that way about it. That's just kind of what it was. But there's one morning I had came into the cafeteria. That's what people would do. You come into the cafeteria in the morning, or you would go sit in the gym. Went to the cafeteria, had breakfast. I finished my breakfast and stuff like that. But all the while I was talking to people about stuff. I was laughing and I was getting kind of louder than usual. We're talking about like a cartoon. I think it was either Dragon Ball Z or something like that. And I remember I was getting really loud, and I kind of laughed and I looked over and I saw there was a group of some kids, looking over at me. They were like jocks and like really preppy people and stuff like that. And they kind of looked over for a second, and amongst them was like a few girls that I noticed looking at me. And one of these girls came up to me. She was blonde. She had blue eyes. She really prissy looking and everything like that. She came over. She had braces. So you can tell this is the cream of the crop sort of deal. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the middle class people and everything. So she came in. She sat down. Across from me. She's like, "Hey, I just wanted to like just let you know, like I don't mean to be rude or anything, but like being my friends, that she talked like that. She had the voice like a Valley girl. I wanted you to know, like she talked like Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian. And I don't know why, but they do that. I hated why they would do that because it's like we live in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you do have some cities, Chicago, big cities, and stuff here, the Midwest. Some places where people just culturally are into that kind of lingo, I guess. But I remember just kind of her having that, and I was thinking, what Midwest and talking, he was like, yeah, my friend, we were like looking at you, we were just kind of like checking you out, not like that, she's laughing, she's trying to use charm for what she was getting ready to say, kind of desensitized me a little bit, and she's like, yeah, we know that like you're really smart, you and like you can like speak really well, and everything like that, and I was like, yeah, I guess, what I mean, I do like reading books and stuff like that, So I did read my alien books, my anime, my comics and stuff, my shonen. And, I usually had like, homework or something laid out when I was done. So she saw all of that, she was complimenting my intelligence. I was happy about it. I said, thank you, And she was like, yeah, and I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to like be racist or anything, but like I noticed that like a lot of other like blacks, and I was like, because I kind of knew where this was going. And she's like, I noticed that like they don't really read that well and everything. And she kind of, you look at her body language, she kind of was doing submissive, like, "Ooh, I don't hope to offend you." She really was kind of, putting a lot of effort into communicating that. I was like, it's fine, because I kind of relaxed a little bit. She's trying to understand. In my head, I'm thinking she's generally trying to understand what's going on. She sees a pattern that even I see. Even I saw this pattern. In this school, this was majority white school. I'm saying, I'm just being honest with you. middle class people and stuff like that. Kids that come from middle class families and everything like that. And you'd be in a class and it'd be like 20 kids, and then maybe 5 of those kids would be, of color or something like that. I'm not going to say black because there were Hispanics as well. You know what I'm saying? So it would always usually, the ratios would be usually like, 5 students of color, sometimes 3. Everybody else would be, white. You know what I'm saying? That's really how it was. And in many of these situations, like when I'd be in like reading class or English or something, like the black children, would be reading, okay, the black students and everything, and they would have a harder time being able to pronounce the words and stuff like that. So I knew what this girl was talking about. I said, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And I imitated them, how they would sound. The blacks were like, the boy was running from the dog, and then, and I did that. She started laughing. You know what I mean? Some other people probably heard me, and they were, kind of chuckling a little bit and everything like that. And then she's like, oh my God, yeah, that's so true. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, they do that. I know they do. I'm going along, and everything like that. And she's like, yeah, it's so true. I'm like, yeah. And I think it's just simply because, hey, they don't have, access. A lot of people, they don't have access to read material. Their parents probably didn't teach them how to read or work with to improve their reading. They don't have a mentor. I knew it was something having to do with resources. I didn't think it was genetic or everything, which is what a lot of people would imply at that time. Honestly, like, I just don't understand why they would say that, just can't seem to just, get it. I would see other, students doing that. You know what I'm saying? White students saying that, even teachers having conversations about black students and stuff like that. I just don't see why they can't get it in their heads. Blah blah blah. I've seen that happen, and it's never a genetic thing or anything like that, obviously. And I knew it wasn't because I, was a good writer, and there were a few other students that I would that I knew that were black that also could write and could speak and everything like that, and other good readers, and it was never a situation. Like, I didn't think, I knew that this was something that could be achieved because I could do it. If I could do it, other people can do it. You know what I'm saying? Other black people can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not impossible. So I always knew that. That's what it was. No matter what people would say, no matter what kind of propaganda I would come across. It's my point. And after I said that, she kind of was like thinking like as if the look on her face was as if, she was taken by surprise. She didn't think I would give her an explanation like that. You know what I'm saying? And I told her about how my grandmother worked with me in my reading. My grandmother would always give me books and stuff like that. And so that's what I did. And but I had a feeling she was expecting a more simplistic answer, like something genetic. And no, I didn't do that. I told her that. She got up. She went away. I thought to myself, man, I kind of let my guard down. For her, to say that. I just felt a little bad about it. I just wanted to share this story. It's kind of weird, guys. I failed to mention one more thing about this story. About 2 months later, I saw that girl again, and it was in the lunchroom, and I was in the line getting my food and everything like that, and it just so happened that she had passed by, and she was getting something. She seen me, and she was like, "Oh my God, it's the cool nerd guy, hey," and shit like that. And I fucking snapped. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like, I am not a nerd. You know what I'm saying? I looked at her very seriously and everything. She's like, oh my God, I'm just joking. I didn't mean it like that and everything. I'm sorry. And she's really like taken by surprise by my reaction. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of funny when I look back at it, but that's how adamant it was. That's how serious it was about I was at that time about, being mischaracterized and shit like that, being misidentified. How I expressed myself at that time. But now I could care less. You call me a nerd, yeah. I'm a fucking nerd. I am. A nerd that whoop your ass.